afternoon, everybody. It is Monday, July 11th, 2022 at 6 p.m. and I'll call to order the Freetown Board of Selectmen meeting. This meeting will be recorded and will be available on the town's YouTube page. To kick things off, first we have the executive session minutes from 6/29/2022. So I'll entertain a motion to approve and not release those executive session minutes.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, we have the open session meetings from 6/16/2022. I'll entertain a motion to approve the open session meetings from 6/16/2022.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now we have the agreement between the town of Freetown and T. Miozzi, let's say that, even close, for cold planning and pit concrete in place effective 7/1/2022 through 6/30/2023. I'm assuming Chuck's approves this, and I think we already talked about this.
These are the ones that were the highway salt, there were
Yeah.
5 companies you approved, and
Okay,
these
so-
are the last 3 contracts.
Okay, great. Alright, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the agreement between the town of Freetown and T. Miozzi for cold planning, bituminous, right, concrete in place,
Yeah.
effective 7/1/2022 through 6/30/2023.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, same thing, but this is for PJ Heating Construction for pit concrete and plant effective 7/1/2022 through 6/30/2023. I'll entertain a motion to approve this agreement.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And finally, on this, we have All States Construction for chip sealing, various roads effective 7/1/2022 through 6/30/2023. I'll entertain a motion to approve that agreement.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we have the discussion and vote on transfer station hours and fees.
That's
We have some folks here from the transfer station.
Welcome.
How are you doing today?
What's that?
How are you doing today?
Good.
Great.
In light of what transpired during the annual town meeting with the stickers being free,
Yes.
I will warn you, I have been getting a lot of messages about reimbursements, so you're gonna get a lot of phone calls.
For folks that already bought them for this
Yes,
year.
since January till then,
That's interesting.
so.
I think I was under the assumption that it was gonna start the next, I guess that doesn't make sense, right? Because our
Right,
fiscal
so-
year is 6/30.
we brought that to the vote, right, we had a lot of people say, what is that, so the board had voted to just stop charging once it got voted at the
Yeah.
town meeting. But we have no vehicle to issue a refund, that's actually prior year fiscal year,
Yeah.
so there's no way for us to refund it, we have had people come in the office, and we just said we can't refund
And
it.
that's what I said, cause they were expecting us to do it, and I said, I don't do refunds.
Yeah, so there is no vehicle for us to refund because our
That's messy.
fiscal year goes June 30th, that money has been deposited,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, well, I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, just so,
Yeah,
I
just-
mean,
Point them our way and we'll have to tell them.
that's it.
Exactly.
I mean, and in light of that, losing that revenue from the stickers next fiscal of the 23 year, I felt we should implement some fee changes, nothing drastic,
Yeah.
but like either $5 or $10. The main thing is the mattresses. The mattresses, textiles, and organic materials are gonna be a banned substance. It's gonna be in, from the DEP, it's gonna come down in November. So that's why, like our mattresses right now are only $20. If we get found, if our hauler hauls a container out and there's a mattress in it,
Yeah.
we're gonna be assessed a fee of $90.
Okay.
So, I mean, and we've been fairly below the
Yeah.
fees as far as other communities, I mean, there's a spreadsheet
I
in
did
it
see
that I
that,
did.
yeah.
And it's just little jumps, nothing crazy. I mean, like with the brush, the brush thing is a big issue. I mean, we shouldn't be charging for the grass and leaves, cause we return that into compost and it's dispersed throughout the community.
Mm-hmm.
But the brush, we have to pay to get it shipped. And it's a costly thing for our department, and losing that revenue from the stickers, it makes our budget tighter.
Gotcha.
So I was just thinking small increments of 10, 20, 25, 35, 35 being if it's like a dump body or something like that. I
Mhm.
mean,
Currently, you're not charging for brush
Currently,
since
we're not.
COVID, right?
right, since COVID, yes.
So implementing this may cause a little stir.
A little rub. I think probably not so much this season, but next season started.
Yeah, because
You
you're
know.
talking about maybe proposing this as of January 20th.
That's what I put on that paper, yes.
Oh, it's supposed to be as a 1-1?
1-1, yeah. So, I mean, just to go with the fees, I mean,
Yeah, nothing, I mean, it all seems reasonable.
yeah, I mean, and in with the other communities, I mean, you know,
Yeah, I just like to point out that Vicky and her staff and Tom, they currently break down the mattresses,
yes.
which saves the town a lot of money. They
Yes.
take the time and
Yeah.
they get them down, and they
And
save the town a lot
sometimes
of
it's
money.
like, we do 20 a week. For
Mhm.
some reason, what the community size that we have, when you have meetings, the webinars, and they go, oh, Freetown, how many did you have? And
Yeah.
you gotta tell them, I almost feel like the fat girl cheating at Weight Watchers. Because we have so many, and I'm like, other people are going, oh, 87, 35, and I'm going, 421?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot, it is.
And I'm hoping you guys are aware of some PPE, personal
Yeah.
protection equipment, while
Yes.
you're writing those down.
And see, we do,
Good, good,
when we touch them,
excellent.
Yeah.
so,
But, I mean, that's kudos to them, because they
Yes.
save. a lot.
Yeah.
we do, any way we can try and save money, we do.
I wonder why that is though. That's amazing, was that
Well,
much more?
the year that was measured by that for something was when we were open the Thursday through the Sunday.
Yeah,
I think just because of, not to hop on the Sunday thing,
Yeah.
because we were open on Sunday.
Yeah.
All our surrounding communities were closed.
so they come,
And hey, Phil, you got that sticker at your transfer station? I got a mattress,
Yeah.
you know?
yeah, I hear
And
you.
that's, so,
Yeah, I'm sure that happened.
yep,
Yeah.
at 17 years, I've seen it all.
Yeah.
So, as far as our hours down here.
Yep.
The Tuesday, Saturday extended hours,
Mhm.
Tuesday, haven't been getting much response.
Okay,
I believe a lot of it has to do with our Monday holidays, because we observe them when we're closed for it. So it really didn't get a kickoff, so I feel we should probably just suspend the Tuesday and stick with the Saturday and the Sunday. I had 8 people Sunday,
mhm,
but the year is still young.
yeah,
Yeah, and
So it
holiday week, so.
And like it
there's
was,
a
and
lot of
everybody's
travel.
home the first week of July, kids are home, everyone's home. Once their kids start driving them crazy, I'm almost sure they'll be by to see me, so.
so this would be for, so you're saying starting this 1-1 as well, right? The hour of operation?
Yeah, to just do the Saturday and the
Yeah,
Sunday.
right now, currently though, you don't wanna be open Tuesday all summer either.
No.
Right now, they're open
No.
Tuesday till 6.
Yeah,
So they're open Tuesday till 6, Saturday till 6, and Sunday, 8 to 12.
8 to 12.
So they're not really getting that much traffic flow Tuesday from 4 to 6, which is the extended hours. So Vicki and I talked about closing Tuesday at the regular time, 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
But obviously you get the Saturday till 6, and you have Sunday from 8 to 12.
Yeah, I think that's more than fair to take back those couple hours.
Yeah.
We have more hours.
It was, those
than
hours
any-
were extended, right, because of not having the
But
Sunday.
not
Now
having
they
the
have
Sunday,
the Sunday, so you
exactly.
still extended out one other day,
exactly,
so I don't see a problem
Yeah.
Well, it's
with
great.
bringing it back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I will need a vote just to approve that we're changing those hours, if that's something the board.
And do we need to vote on this hour, on this,
Yeah,
change for all the fees?
Yeah, that would be as of 1/1/23, yeah, we would, the Board of Health typically needs to vote on that, yes. So, but I will also need a vote on the hours, just to say that it's okay if the board agrees that she closes at their 4 o'clock on Tuesdays.
So that's the only change in the hours that.
And, well, yeah, and Sundays were added, the Sundays were just added as of July
As
10th.
of
Yeah.
this Sunday.
That's right, because I remember,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right, this was the second vote. I remember us talking about this, extending the hours to a Sunday or a half-day Sunday.
Yeah.
So this is a change
Yeah.
to that based on what you've been seeing over the last few weeks, months, whatever
Yeah,
it
since
is.
April,
Okay,
since April.
so that's great. So we put a system in place.
Yeah.
You guys looked at the amount of people coming in, now
It
we're
looked like
adjusting
the
it.
revenue we were taking in, it wasn't feasible to keep the
Sure.
Tuesday going.
Well, that's great, because I remember before, Sundays, you didn't wanna have it open because
Yeah.
of the traffic, but now we're realizing that it's a busy day, And I believe that's what most of the residents that came that day
Almost
wanted.
one, but yeah.
Yeah, that's great. No, I think it's great. As far as the changes to the fees, from what I hear is, it's based on what external sources are charging other towns.
Mhm.
We're trying to get to that point.
Yeah, we've always been below, I mean, even
Excellent.
sticker wise, I mean, other communities have charged $50 to $60, and we've always, when I first moved to town, it was $1, and that was in 1994.
Good old days.
Yeah, so,
No, it's great, because,
It
you know,
isn't.
the town said one thing about the stickers, great,
Yeah.
right? But this isn't trying to really circumvent it, it's really trying to
yeah,
keep up with everybody else around us, so we're not
Yeah.
getting
exactly.
overhauled with all their trash.
And plus too, we're gonna see a large increase in hauling fees, we've already seen
Sure.
a jump already in our bulky, haul, us.
Oh, this is great, it's being proactive, this is
Yeah.
getting ahead of the
Yeah,
curve.
it is, I mean, hopefully it helps us, I mean, I know cuts will be coming, but I would hope, I wouldn't wanna lose any of my staff.
So, yeah,
Because
I
we all
would
work
just,
well
Yeah,
together.
I wanna say that you see the increase for some of the hauls, just went from 125 a ton to 160
60
a
a
ton.
ton.
Our recyclables, which just went from 90 a ton to 110 a ton.
Yeah.
And I just quickly looked at the budget, just so you have a reference, between the trash and the transfer station, we're spending $1 million. So just think about that, that's a
Yeah.
lot of money for
Yeah,
trash.
that's
Yeah.
right,
And it's gonna
exactly.
get a lot more expensive, like Vicky
Yeah,
said, so.
and you try to be proactive when you see people bring things in, you try to even give them when they call me on the phone, I try, if they have TVs, furniture, I try to give them other avenues to go. Not that I don't want the income, but I just don't want it to be left at the transfer station and then we have to eat the disposal,
Yeah, no, I hear
you
you.
know? And you will get, I'm almost sure that people leaving stuff on the side of the road and stuff. But, you know, other communities, like, I never knew that New Bedford never charged for any of their mattresses. So that could have, and I was like, I talked to the woman and she's like, I'm like, that's insane, how could you
Yeah,
not charge?
yeah, that makes sense.
Just leave it outside the road, they'll pick it
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
Right.
So I was like, but yeah, when you get to talking to a few of the other communities, you find out, so. That's where I derive most of my information as far as the fees being increased.
I guess my one question is, do we start getting sticky, and like, I just look at, some of this stuff is pretty clear cut, right? Like, okay, this is what it'll go, when you start having step increments, like mattresses or box springs, 10, 20, 30, or 40,
That would go by the size.
yeah. But
And
I
that-
guess we would need to have a better way to communicate what it is to them, so they
Yeah.
know if they're coming in with a twin mattress, they're paying $10, if they're coming in
Well,
with.
this is gonna be redone,
Yeah.
and a new fee schedule will be handed out, and it will specify size
Okay. Yeah,
increments.
and then the same
Like
thing
even with the brush.
pile, right,
Yes,
yeah, so
it will be.
that's all I just wanna
And
make sure that
even,
we.
like with the brush, not to interrupt you, Jared, but even with the brush, when we are not available to the residents, there was another person in town that takes commercial waste
Mhm.
and residential waste, and sight unseen, it's $35 a truck, and they pay it.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
that's how I came up with that number,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because I asked a few people, little people, some didn't wanna say and others did.
Mhm.
And I said, hey, listen, you know, it's your town too,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know? So,
Alright.
that's
So,
where I'm at.
so now, just clarification, should we vote on the new fees right now? I know, obviously we're gonna vote on the closing at 4 p.m.,
Right,
but should we also vote on the new fees, or
you
should that?
can, or you can keep it open, it's just proposing it for January, we can.
Yeah, we'll just keep it open for now and maybe see if we have any feedback from anyone first, do you wanna, I don't know, I mean, it's up to you guys, but.
I mean, I think we can vote on it, just to get out of the way, if there is any kind of pushback, or maybe the big conversation, we can vote on it, you know, we put it back on the agenda. And
Yeah, it's not gonna go, to your point, it's not going into effect, so
And not
if we
till-
need to
yeah.
change it, we can change it.
We're gonna tweak it, we're gonna tweak it.
And I'm sure we'll get some pushback, but this is the reality of the situation.
Come on, really?
Yeah, no way.
Not in this town. But you're right, this is a proactive way to stay ahead of the
Yeah.
curve.
I want to be ahead of it than instead of behind it,
Yeah, I appreciate that.
you know?
Well,
It's
I
great-
called
great
one
thinking,
because
Victoria.
we got junk,
Yeah.
and they took a couch from me, and they cost me $275.
Yeah.
I told you, leave it on the side of the road and call the shop.
Mhm.
No, can't do that.
Alright, so first I'll entertain a motion to have the transportation close on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. going forward.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, then second, I'll entertain a motion to approve the updated, transfer fee prices as of 1/1/2023.
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
All right, thank you so much.
thank you very much, appreciate it.
Great job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I just figured you'd get it over with,
Thanks.
since,
No, we
it
want
was
to be,
fresh in my mind.
should we keep tomorrow's hours or Tuesday?
Tuesday. If you think people are gonna show up, I don't want someone to show up and get upset, you know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
got them scheduled, so we still want to schedule.
Yeah, if it's
Oh, yeah,
posted,
yeah,
it's posted.
it might make more sense to
Yeah.
start the following week, just to avoid
Just
it.
do it, no.
Yeah, perfect,
Post it that you'd be closing at.
As of after this day?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that'd be great,
And
thank
then
you.
open
Thank
on
you.
Sundays
Thank
and
you.
Okay, so moving on to now, discussion of on hosting a combined meeting with the Board of Selectmen and the Building Committee regarding, new town building.
So you know, we were moving forward with this and then sort of tabled it, and you know that the chair of the building committee resigned.
Yes,
So the building committee needs to regroup and, elect a new chairperson. And I think it would make sense for the selectmen to meet with them and sort of, decide how we're gonna move forward. We also have that petition from the COA people that came in right before town meeting.
yep,
That is not a petition article to go on a town meeting warrant, so I think that should be discussed at this joint meeting. And just get the ball rolling in the direction of getting the new town building moving.
yeah, that makes sense. When are you thinking for a
I think
date?
we're thinking August 8th,
Obviously.
does that work?
I
Does that work?
will be, yep, I'll be here. Get back to David.
I might not be here. I'll update the board. I might be on family vacation first week of August.
Okay, yes, that's the second week of August?
Second week's.
We can do it the 22nd. It also depends on, it will depend on too if we're doing a town, you know, if we're gonna have a town meeting on the 15th or not for the BP school. If we're not, we can always move the 8th to the 15th.
Okay. I do like the idea, I mean, should we vote on anything right now, or should we,
I just want your approval that, you know,
Yeah.
that we're gonna just,
I think we definitely, I think it makes sense, we need to kind of regroup and figure out where we all stand and,
I guess my only question is, I don't know when they're gonna vote on who the new chair is gonna be.
well, I would think at that meeting, we'll have a joint meeting with them and they'll vote their new chair there.
Oh, okay, all right, with us
So
there.
we'll
I got you.
hopefully send out an invitation to try to get them to come together.
Mhm.
And that way they can vote right then and there. I think the two groups, the selectmen and the building committee, can decide how they wanna move forward
Mhm.
with the COA/library building, where we're grouped, where are we at, how are we gonna move forward.
I like that idea.
I think we call it a community center versus separating COA library. That way we have a clear consensus of what it's called. You know, community center or a like building instead of calling, we have to call it something, right?
Mhm.
So COA library is probably not gonna be the official name for it.
Mhm.
So, you know, after much discussion, internal discussion, a community center is really what it's gonna be. Everyone's gonna code to these little areas.
Mhm.
So we call it that and move forward with the chair. But also, we also put it out there for new members, because they're down a member now, right? I believe they're at
The
6.
building committee will be done, but then also we can establish the subcommittee and probably appoint people that night, you know, but I think it'd be good to do it jointly,
Yeah.
to have the input.
so I guess so she'll have a motion just to tentatively have it on 8/15, see,
No,
Sorry.
the 8th,
the 8th.
August 8th, and if, Selectman Mopes cannot make it,
I just checked out, I'll be away that week.
You will,
Yeah.
Okay, so do you wanna do the 22nd of August?
yeah, that works for me.
Yep.
Thank. Alright, yeah, so I'll entertain a motion to host a combined meeting with the Board of Selectmen and the Building Committee regarding new town buildings on 8/22/2022.
Motion made.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye. That was yum.
Just checked out my calendar.
Yeah, I think.
I did the same thing.
Okay, moving on. This is a transfer request from the reserve fund to forestry tree warden in the amount of $4,312, and this is just because you know, there ended up being more hours than expected when money was getting allocated to this.
That storm in October or November, remember where all the trees blew down and everything?
Yep,
He worked a lot of time.
no, that's, man. Anyone have any questions on that one?
No.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the, transfer request from reserve fund forestry tree warrant in the amount of $4,312.
Motion made.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Alright, number 9, personnel board, discussion and vote on the pay rate being equal to minimum wage, which is $14.25 for a gatekeeper position effective 7/1/22. So on this, the internal discussion is if, you know, we're paying one person or one department $14.25, should be equal across the board.
yeah,
You know, that way, there's no internal or external, for lack of better words, infighting, outfighting, whatever it is. It's just, that's what it is across the board.
I mean, it's minimum wage.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that makes
mean, I
sense.
know there's been issues before where there was like certain departments, because of it being a municipality, that we don't have to pay minimum wage, but to me, that's just,
It puts another good incentive as well. You know, a lot of people on this side of the table will attest, we've had quite a few interviews over the past few months, and we a lot of times we say yes to hiring them, then they come back and they don't accept the position. And what we have to do is go back out, repost position at a higher rate. This way, it sets a minimum standard, and now that way people know what they're getting into at the town level. I think it's a win-win. So, alright, in that case, I'll entertain motion to approve the pay rate at $14.25 for the gatekeeper position effective 7/1/2022.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, moving on. Number 10, discussion and vote on the amount of stipend for a staff member covering weekends for boat ramp and beach. So if you remember, I don't know if it was the last meeting or the one before, we had a discussion regarding who'd oversee the gatekeeper, well, not the gatekeeper, the boat ramp and beach attendant that we just hired, right? We hired 2 individuals, and who do they report to on a weekend basis when no one's really at town hall? So we had a discussion to have members of town hall or departments being on call to answer those calls, whether it be, hey, there's no more paper in the machine, or hey, overflowing with money, can you come grab it for me? Whatever the case may be, who they report to on a daily record, or daily basis, I should say. And then if that person's on call for that week, you know, everyone's busy, right? We all have lives, whether it's family or friends or just need time off. Do we pay a stipend to have that person on call? Right, Deb, Luann, did I miss anything there? I think that's pretty clear to cut, right? That's the gist of the stipend. And if we do approve that, what's the amount of the stipend, right? So, you know, we do have a new machine. Right now, it's not really, well, we'll get to the machine towards the commissions part, but there's a new machine there. You know, for the most part, it'll take credit cards, right? Right now, it's taking cash because we're waiting for a part to come in. Again, we'll discuss that in a few minutes. So, who do they call? Right now, they're really calling the administrative staff, Luann, Deb, heck, even myself. I believe I'm the 3rd or 4th person on the phone tree.
Yeah.
Which is fine for now, but long term, it's not really a solution right now. So, what do we do moving forward? Yes to the stipend, and how much?
Yeah, I mean, what do we think that,
It's just a thought, right, so that we can
Yeah.
try to get, I mean, I think we're halfway through the season already, so this year we're gonna just deal with it. But it's one of those things that ultimately, it's hard, right, somebody's gonna be on call on the weekend, we have to be available, and, you know, so you can't go somewhere because you might have to go to the boat ramp.
yeah,
So it's just been a difficult thing, so if we can establish possibly a stipend to pay the people, which, you know, the people, meaning the man, that are taking care of it, but also maybe we can entice somebody next year to actually step up and oversee it, you know, so that
Yeah.
it's not always Luann.
Right.
Or, and I mean, I will help Luann when I can.
Likewise.
I went down there Friday, she went down there, we were checking on them, but again, I'm not always local, so it's difficult. So you do need somebody that can go down there if needed. And so if we establish a stipend, we may be able to entice another department head
He's looking at you.
who wants it,
Mhm.
maybe Tom wants to do it. Or,
Yeah, transfer station is in the works, you
I don't
never
know,
know.
it's just
Next
a
to the
suggestion,
woods.
it's just, what do you do, right?
Right.
It's one of those that, we need somebody who can answer their questions and go down there. Hopefully, depending on how things go, we may be getting an earmark from Rep. Schmid, we may be able to put a gate in that will open and close and, count the number of cars coming, and maybe we can get it self-sustained, so we don't necessarily have to staff it so much either.
Right.
And then we might just have somebody who checks on it a couple times a day and get paid their stipend, I don't know.
Right.
So,
Where
short-term.
do we get the funding for the stipend too, what
So
fund
all
you
of the money comes out of the revolving fund for the boat ramp, right, which is,
We are saving money too, not having the details there, the police
yeah,
details,
yeah,
so.
we're still trying to get details from 12 to 4 to cover. The boat ramp is now staffed, the beach is not staffed.
Right.
So far, so good, I mean, there's, and the police do go down there, they have been, environmental police have been at the boat ramp as well. I think Sunday was pretty hectic at the boat ramp, and we did have environmental police, we did have the staff close the gates, somebody ran over the gate.
Really?
Yeah, so it was pretty busy, seemed pretty busy this weekend from the funds and Iowa South Friday afternoon, it was pretty busy.
Yeah,
And then Saturday, the Wednesday was pretty busy, and then Sunday, just based on the money they brought in, it was busy.
yeah.
So, but it was a gorgeous weekend, right? If you were going voting, you were going this weekend.
Oh, it's the weekend to go to, absolutely.
So, it's just a thought process, just.
I'm thinking like $400 a month.
Yeah, Trevor, that's exactly what I was thinking as
That's what I
well.
was gonna, I don't know,
I'm trying to
I
think.
all stuck in my head.
And keep in
$100
mind-
a weekend, so that's.
Right.
I think that says like $400 and then,
I guess my only question is if we do it by the month, then, and you're saying, hey, we're gonna try and get multiple people?
Yeah, I think I
Then
would split it, do it by the
Do
week,
you
because.
do it by
that
the,
week,
I mean,
so,
Luann doesn't wanna do it every weekend.
yeah,
Nobody
exactly,
does.
right?
so $100 a weekend?
Yeah.
And then, and there's a chance that,
They don't
no
need it.
call.
No call at all, right?
but we need to have somebody available, can be contacted in the case of a situation.
And keep in mind, the last couple of sessions, we discussed potentially putting on the ballot or on the agenda for the October meeting, Director of Parks.
Yeah,
And when we get that person, if it's voted on, that person would then take over those duties.
yeah,
So this is a good short-term solution to an ongoing problem we've had for years, not just from this board, from previous boards. What do we do with the boat ramp and the beach,
yeah.
right? Who belongs to it? I think over the years, building commission, the inspector, the health department, everybody's touched it at one point or the other. Let's just put it to bed. Who owns this? Who do we go to, and make it a consistent thing over the years, right?
Yep.
And finally solve the issue. So,
Right, so I guess, yeah, I think we're ready to go that one, I can get a motion.
so $400 is
Well, let's
what's
do it by the week.
by the week. $100 a week, $400 a month.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even say the second part.
So $100 a week.
Yeah, because some weekends you have 5 weekends
Oh, sure.
in a month, so you don't wanna say that.
yeah.
That's true. That's true. All right. Well,
But yeah, I'll probably have to create a job and then have somebody appointed to it, but at least if you make this vote, I'll work on the rest of the paperwork.
Okay, great.
so in that case, I will entertain a motion to add $100 a week, and weekend, of course, for covering of the boat ramp and beach as the point of contact. So that's the amount of the stipend, $100 a week for a staff member to cover the weekends for boat, ramp, and beach.
All right, I'll make that motion.
One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. Number 11, approve the appointment of Jonathan Rocca as a part-time gatekeeper effective 7/7/2022. So this is the second gatekeeper we have, to open and close our gates, things like Porter's Pasture. They go there, in the morning, in the afternoon, open and close it so the public can use it.
Just to be clear, so, okay, it says on the agenda, it says 7/7, and then I'm looking at, in the packet, it says 7/6, I just don't know if that matters.
You're right, on his certificate of appointment is 7/6, July 6, 2022. So,
Just make a motion for him to be effective 7/6.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion to appoint Jonathan Rocker as part-time gatekeeper effective 7/6/2022.
Alright, make that motion?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, thank you.
There it is.
Alright, number 12, discussion and vote on whether to authorize the town administrator and or public health nurse to sign off on the Mass Health Flu and Adult Vaccine Program provider documents. I think this is a no-brainer
Yeah.
to just, I say we just have Debbie do it, right? Because, I mean, she's there and it'll make things a lot smoother rather than, public health nurse, although great, she's not, you know, she's technically supposed to be about 1 day a week, so,
Does anyone have any questions or concerns with that?
No?
alright. So with that, I will entertain a motion to have, the town administrator sign off on the Mass Health Flu and Adult Vaccine Program provider documents.
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, back over to me. Discussion, possible topics. Number 13, update on beach and boat ramp staffing, kiosk, and other related matters. All right. So, as multiple meetings now, we've talked about kiosk, staffing, hiring, everything else. So fast forward till today or this week, we've hired 2 individuals. They started working on Thursday, Friday of this week.
Friday.
And from all accounts, they're doing a pretty good job, right? And we also had installed the kiosk at the boat ramp. It came a little off kilter, waiting in a part to come in. So once that's up and running, it'll be effective using credit card and everything else, right? So right now we're collecting cash,
Yes.
right? And they've been trained by Chief Abbott as far as how to issue a parking ticket and looking for certain things. So far, everything's good. I don't see any issues at the boat ramp.
That's
I
great.
popped in briefly and didn't see any issues, and everybody was doing their thing, and I was very pleased. Nobody was angry. There was no grilling or swimming at the ramp, so it was a win-win. Luann, Deb, you guys went there as well. Any cause for concerns or?
The two attendants, were doing fabulous while I was there on Friday.
Yep.
I went midday, it was very busy, about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I said, it was very busy. They're quick learners, they were doing great. I will tell you that I'm really happy that we decided to put them together down there, for the first weekend, and we like to discuss the hours for upcoming weekends, but, yeah, there's a lot involved down there, and they were doing a good job, so I'm really happy with that, and like I said, we got the fees in, everything seemed to go okay. There was one ticket that actually was issued, and it was correctly filled out for the parking ticket.
Excellent.
So they paid attention, and they did what they were supposed to do, and they were, non-confrontational, and there was no issues as far as I know. I know when we went down on Saturday, I didn't, but,
Yeah, both Friday and Saturday, I went and trained them for the first hour so that they were on, and after I did the first person, they just grabbed a clipboard and did it, so, and I stood
Great.
back, and they were,
yeah,
very self-sufficient.
self-motivated.
They backed each other up too, which was nice, cause there was someone who didn't have cash, and, you know, I just stepped in and told them, oh, our kiosk isn't working, it's okay, and then the next person that happened to, they just jumped right in and did it, so.
Fantastic.
They're quick learners, they were very pleasant, they helped each other out a lot, so I think they'll work out quite well.
And
Yeah.
did have quite a thing having each other to lean on, you know?
So that's one of the things I'd like to talk about, the hours, because I think it's extremely effective. And if you've been down there when it's busy, I was there Friday, and, you know, people must have been coming in after work around 3:30, so it's very busy, there's a lot going on, and it's good to have 2 people. You've got cars coming in trying to park, you've got boats coming in, and they need to pay, and then of course then you got boats backing in and backing out, it's chaotic, and it almost requires the 2 people there.
That makes sense to me.
Especially on these weekends when we know the weather's gonna be good and we're gonna get the boaters. So we were talking, Luann and I, you know, and Friday we was, you know, it's the afternoon, so 2 to 6 maybe, and have the both of them there, because it's sort of, everybody comes right after work and it's a little chaotic. Saturday is a little bit slower, believe it or not. We were thinking of splitting them 8 to 2 and then 12 to 6, so they overlap in the middle of the day, which is when you have the early morning boats that went out early are coming back in, and you've got the afternoon boaters going out, and you get a little bit of crossover there.
Great, yeah.
And then Sunday's our super busy day, we were thinking staff with both of them, 8 to 4, if they're okay with that. And I just kinda wanted to get the feedback of the board,
I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah, that
This
makes-
is- yeah, they both okay with working.
I haven't
Friday,
asked
Saturday,
them,
and Sunday.
we did originally say that we would work, the schedule would be 8 to 2 in the morning, 8 to 2 in the afternoon and 12 to 6, and they would overlap in the middle of the day. And they both were agreed with that, so now, so I know Saturday will be okay, Sunday having them both, and they were gonna do the same schedule for both Saturday and Sunday, so they're both planning on working both days.
Right.
I'm thinking staffing it with both of them on Sunday, and at least, like you said, gives them support, so if anybody was to get rowdy, you've got somebody who's got your back, they can always call the police. It's just a little bit safer, I think, for two people, because it's very chaotic, and there is a lot of people just coming in, parking, jumping out of their cars, taking off, and you're trying to give somebody a ticket and take their money, and those people are gone, and now they've left their car there. And like I said, somebody ran over the gate, and you've gotta put this chain and the saw horses out, there's just a little bit going on.
No,
I did appreciate how busy it is down there, until I went down there, and I didn't go on Sunday when it was busiest.
No, I think it's great, and we also decided to leave open at least for a little while longer, to try and get a couple more people, so that we can either cross-train them there and also have the beach as well. So short-term solution, they're great doing their job, but then at some point, we'd like to also extend those individuals over to the beach as needed. So we'll leave it open for a little while longer, and see if we get any more applicants.
I also, it's because it's kind of on the topic, I recently had it brought to my attention that, make sure that we put up some good language on the side of the kiosk to make sure that, people understand how to use the kiosk, because to Deb's point, if they're over dealing with something else and, they're over trying to figure out the kiosk, they're gonna start getting upset that they can't do it and not want pay or whatever, so I think it's a good idea that, I was sent a picture.
Yeah.
of,
100%.
how they do it, it was in Fall River for this one, and it was very clear cut that, this is what you do to pay at the kiosk, so.
I believe
Just
that's
some
already,
food.
right, I believe that train's already in motion, I believe we're just waiting for some signage to come back. Ms. Luann, she's been very proactive, working with both the state and us locally, with the chief and everybody else, to make sure that we have the proper signage and instructions how to use the kiosk, and also the boat rules and ramp rules as well. And I believe, Luann, please step in, if I'm putting my foot in my mouth, I believe we're just waiting on signs to come in at this point.
We're waiting, the signs are ready that say, there's like 6 of them that go around that are about the speed limit size that say pay at kiosk, so those will be around the parking lot. And then next to the kiosk, we'll have another sign that says leave your ticket on your dashboard. But the kiosk itself has incredibly easy instructions to follow right on it.
Oh, that's great.
So it walks you right through it, very simple. We covered it over with a trash bag right now because it was letting people do it, you get to the credit card piece, and then it would loop you back to the beginning. So they were getting through it, but then it just couldn't accept their payment, but they'll get that fixed.
That's because of the broken piece, right, that we're waiting from the company to send us and then
Yeah,
have
it's
it
on
installed.
order and it's supposed to be here this week and they'll get it right in as soon as it's available.
So once that's up and running, they should have it on-screen instructions of play-by-play.
Yeah, it was easy.
Excellent. So, but yes, to your point, Jared, absolutely. More clear, concise signage is the way to go. That way people know exactly what they're doing. So. All right, next discussion, number 14. Well, before I continue, any further discussion on that? I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but open for discussion. Anybody here? Excellent. All right, number 14, discussion and vote on whether to approve the revised resident sticker privileges policy for transfer station and beach stickers. So this goes back to our annual meeting that was decided on by the residents of our town to, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, just thinking here outside the box here, it was approved for 2 stickers per household, or correct?
Yes.
So And then, of course, the discussion is there back pay, is it for, when does it start, when did it start, or is there a way to go back in time? But I believe from discussions based on the transfer stickers, we do it fiscal year on, right? So June, or July 1st forward,
We do our transfer station stickers a calendar year,
calendar year.
January to December.
So if we're doing it for the transfer stations, that makes sense to do it for all stickers. Right? So calendar year forward. And I don't wanna circumvent the will of the voters, and I'm just trying to, again, try and think of what,
Well, I think we've already
Yeah, so
been
the-
not, like, people just get them free
Right.
now,
right,
right, so,
Yeah, the town meeting petition article was approved, which says that we're not gonna charge two transfer stations per household. That would be effective immediately upon the Attorney General approving that.
okay,
But this board voted to do it, immediately, just so, because people are already asking for refunds, this way people aren't gonna pay for the next month, and then we say they're free as of, August fifteenth.
Yeah.
So they are currently free,
Okay.
but they still need to follow the procedures to prove that they're a Freetown resident, both for the transfer station stickers and the beach stickers. So we've been really busy with the beach stickers,
And we do not sell beach stickers at the transfer station.
no, yeah, but,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
Yeah, that's because people have come down on Saturdays and they are very discouraged when they say I don't have them. But I said, sorry, I don't do them, I've never done them.
Yeah,
so they're new this year too, right? The beach
Yeah.
stickers are brand new, we were trying to determine how many people use the beach, when this was enacted, I think, last fall. So right now, this policy is updated just to say that they're free, you get, each household gets two, you still have to be a Freetown resident. So one of the things that has come, so this is the issue with the beach stickers. Obviously, you wake up Saturday and you decide, oh, it'd be a nice day, I think I wanna go to the town beach. Oh, I don't have a sticker.
yeah,
Well, the only place to get a sticker is the clerk. Well, the clerk is not open on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And if you go to the beach without a sticker, you're gonna get ticketed. So my thought was that maybe we have the boat ramp attendants have the stickers. Because they're open on the weekends, it's closest to the beach, you can run to the boat ramp, get a sticker and go back. I mean, not that I wanna inundate them, but if there's two of them down there, it may be okay.
it makes sense.
I'm okay with that, and I know Vicky might not wanna hear that, but why, I mean, is there gonna be many people that are gonna come into you guys asking to buy a sticker?
Well, the whole thing is, my transfer station sticker for years was both.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, because
I don't have a problem, I mean, because it's the same
Yeah.
process.
I wouldn't, I'm not trying to overwhelm
No.
you guys, you know what I mean, but I'm saying if you're gonna get 3 people who are gonna come in over the course of
it
a
wouldn't
month
bother me.
to say, hey, we wanna get a sticker.
Plus two, yeah.
do they look different? Are they different colors?
This year they're different.
They-
This year
Yes,
they're
yeah.
different, so maybe this year because of the
Past
the
practice,
vote.
it was the transfer station sticker was for the transfer and the beach. And that's why people would come and
yeah.
get the stickers.
So we inadvertently changed
So
it.
we had to
So
show
no, and
revenue
we changed
for
it
the
even
beach.
before, because we decided at the board that like there's nothing really related about the transfer station and the beach, right? They were just kind of bucketed
Well-
together and have one sticker for a long time.
Yeah,
But, like,
just
I
because
looked
the our sticker says town of Freetown, that's.
Yeah, exactly, yeah, and like, I think it makes sense, or and the board agreed that, we should have, so we can track, so who's actually going and buying them
Yeah.
specifically for the beach, who's going to, specifically for the transfer station, right, so.
Makes sense.
But we could definitely, send some to both the boat ramp and the transfer station, so at least people can get them on the weekends if they want to. The other thing is conservation stickers that allow residents nothing to do with you, the residents to go to, like Pasture, you
Yeah.
can get a conservation sticker. I know the clerk is like, she said, well, why doesn't the conservation, now that they have somebody in their office, do their own stickers as well? So that's,
It's a valid point. I
Yeah.
mean, it's their department, so it's not fair to pass it off to someone else, so it should
it's just
probably.
that the clerk has done it in the past, but I will tell you, she's extremely busy, and the beach stickers, a lot busier than you think. They've
Oh,
been
sure.
crazy busy,
Mhm.
really crazy busy, so it'll be interesting to see how many people actually get these
That's
stickers.
interesting, I'm
Yeah.
happy to hear that, actually.
Yeah, I actually am too, and
Yeah.
it's nice to know that people can use our resources,
Yeah, it's
right?
great, yeah.
So.
Okay.
The transfer stickers, and that was the other thing is, does the clerk need to continue to do transfer station stickers? Or do we just leave them down at
I
the
think they
transfer?
should just be at the transfer, cause that's where they're coming to.
Yeah, they're not,
And
you
there
know,
won't be any miscommunication of directions given to people when they come down.
I
Because people
think-
that don't get their sticker from us, I can tell just by looking when they pull in, they go right to bulky and they start unloading their car. And I go, excuse me, there's a fee for that couch, don't throw it in there,
Yeah,
you know, things like that. And they say, oh, they just told me I have to pay for appliances and TVs. I'm like, no.
Well, that makes sense too, because we also, because if you're saying they're not overwhelmed, but higher than usual beach stickers, we also don't want to overwhelm the clerk from doing everything else. So
And
that's
plus,
great
with
with
the
you
two-
guys.
And with the two households, we could, just get it out of the way when that one person comes with a first sticker. Oh, do you have someone else in your family that would like a second sticker?
Mhm.
And just get rid of it, and then you keep better records of that house on, oh, they have two, and they're already all set. So if they come down for a third sticker, are we implementing a fee for a third sticker? That's another question.
Well, the rule was 2 stickers
Just
per
two,
household.
exactly.
we're free.
Yeah,
Free,
I have,
right.
Then you would buy,
I have like 4 or 5 residents that do come down with like 3 stickers
yeah,
for the
So it
year.
used to be 10, right? So would we
Yeah.
charge 35 for the third one? Which is our normal fee for the first one, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
alright. I was
And then
just
maybe
thinking
10
of
for the fourth?
it. Yeah, I mean, it's insane, but people do it.
Now, can we verbally post that so people know that? That way we.
We could do it at the beginning of the year
Okay,
with the new fee schedule.
and that's something your folks can do as is, no additional hiring and things like that, easily taking track of that.
Yeah.
Keeping meticulous records in case we need it down the road.
Some people like to slouch on things, but we'll straighten them out.
I got that on my second agenda for later. Okay, well, that sounds pretty reasonable.
So, yeah, I think we wanna push stickers back where the departments that issue them, not to say that, I mean, I don't want them to come to the town hall and not be able to be serviced, so I think we should probably still keep something there in terms of, you know, but they're gonna, so it's out of their way to come to the town hall to then go to the transfer station, you know?
that's my point, is
And
where
beach
pausing and convenience. right?
Yeah, and if we staff the beach, I would put the
We'll
beach
just post
stickers
it
down
too,
there.
like when you send out that
The
5-page census thing, that letter with the census, put on there that stickers for the transfer station will no longer be available at the town clerk's, transfer station only.
Yeah,
Put it on the website, things like that.
yeah,
Great
and,
idea.
you know, we can start using the, we actually, I don't know who I talked to this about, sending out like a monthly thing, but we can add it to
Conservation
the
stickers, I think we
COA.
only started those in '05.
Yeah,
What?
The conservation stickers that have been issued, I think when I first started working at the transfer, that's when they started in like 2006.
Yeah,
And it was Paul Bourgeois, who was BOH at the time, and that's when we started using a sticker for that area,
yeah,
so.
but like I said, we'll have to work a little bit of that out, but the policies were changed to say that they're free. And, I think, you know, he's calling for a person to come in with a valid registration showing that they live in Freetown, and also a proof of residency with a cable bill or a water bill. I mean, in all honesty, if they have a registration with a
That's
car.
what we usually use, the registration,
And,
and we
yeah,
just make sure it's current. Sometimes they try to pull a fast one and give you an old one like from 2002. I'm like,
Get 'em.
yeah,
yeah, but if they have a registration and a
Yeah.
license,
and you have, and we also have residents that are like more or less, they live in Vermont half the year, then they live down in Arizona half the year. I've always issued one to residents because, I mean, you don't just charge them for taxes half the year, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
And once again, it comes back to doing what's right for the residents. And most
Exactly.
residents aren't gonna be like, oh, I need to grab an electric bill before I go
Yeah.
to the train. It just
Exactly.
doesn't happen. But they're gonna drive their car there, they're gonna have the registration, they're gonna have their license, so.
and
it
I
should
usually
be-
freak them out anyway, cause I already have the sticker written out before they even come in, they just take it, they leave. Like,
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, smarter in our
Or
heart.
I go, hey, I'm not charging you one, if you got a new car,
So I guess So discussion's been had, obviously. I think that's a lot of great ideas moving forward, implementing it on January 1st, especially compared to the 3rd and 4th sticker. So how do we vote on this? So much has been said.
Well, I think we just first need to vote on to adopt the revised sticker privileges policy.
Okay.
For the transportation beach system as put into the agenda.
Well, that said, I entertain the motion to approve the revised sticker privileges as set forth on the agenda for the policy for transfer station beach stickers.
I'll make that motion.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and as the time comes closer, we'll get it, I'm sure we'll get it published. All right, number 15, discussion recommendations on hours of Porter Pasture. So the discussion here is Porter Pasture, as we know, is part of Conservation Commission and everything else. And I've spoken with the chair, Kevin Dismaris. A resident had called me, actually a couple of residents called me, that since the sun was out, they got out of work around 6 o'clock, they got to Porter's Pasture, the gate was closed past 6 o'clock. Because of their ADA status, they couldn't walk down the path. It's about a quarter mile to a half mile long, uneven terrain, so they didn't bother going fishing down to the path, to the open water there. So I spoke with Kevin, and we spoke at length, and he was amenable to increase the hours based on the season. So instead of opening at 8 o'clock in the morning, closing at 6, I believe the discussion was, more rounded hours, 7 to 7, 7 to 8, 6 to 8, something like that, that the gatekeeper was amenable to. So this conversation is really already resolved, but because it's on the agenda to discuss it. And then as the summer months go away and the winter months come up, shorten the hours. So if the sun goes down at 5, we say 4 o'clock, so that way the gatekeeper has certain standard hours. This is something that came up, put on the agenda to discuss, but then as I dove deeper into it, it's a conservation thing more than is a board of selectmen thing.
Yeah.
So it's been resolved. They were great. Kevin was fantastic, and they're going to extend the hours for the summer months so that residents can go down there and enjoy the time while the sun's still up. So I think they're closing at 8 o'clock now versus 6.
Alright.
So we gained 2 hours.
I'm just gonna update you on that, so yeah, Kevin talked to the gatekeepers, they're on board, but I just wanna let you know, we're opening the gates, somebody keeps
Zip time.
zip tying them shut, locking them shut, they've had
So
to
it's
cut
definitely
locks.
someone who doesn't want people
Yeah.
using it.
Had to cut locks off, I think 2 locks had to be cut off, they put locks on top of our locks, and then now they're zip tying them, I think 3 times today they were zip tied. So now the gatekeeper has to put chains to open them up and lock them open,
Yes.
and then come back and shut them and lock them. So just so you know, we're having like a battle of the gates
Gotcha.
at Porter Pasture.
So from my understanding, that they have a 20-foot long steel cable that they've now attached to the tree, padlocked to the gate, so they can't be shut during the day. And the gatekeeper will take care of that link chain every day, opening and closing to make sure no zip ties get used again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
So-
just as long as you
No
tell
A
action.
lot battle.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a battle.
It's
of the
amazing.
game.
And that's all there is on Porter's Pasture. It's a beautiful place. I recommend all residents go out there and use it responsibly.
Alright.
And I just have one note that I'd like to just say, I know we've got to adjourn, but I just wanted to thank the Parade and Fireworks Committee for a job well done. From my offices, we didn't see any glitches or any issues, I didn't get any reports. I want to thank Highway Department, the Police Department, the Fire Department, and all the volunteers. You do not realize until you work for the town what goes on to put that fireworks production on, it's amazing, and they all work seamlessly to get it done, and the residents really look forward to that. It's one of the awesome things about the town of Freetown, our yearly fireworks. Hopefully next year we'll have to get the parade back on track.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say, really a heartfelt thank you, because there is a lot of work that goes into that, and if anybody wants to volunteer, they're always looking for additional help, and they really could use it, so I just wanna make sure everybody hears that. Like I said, our police and fire and highway, they do a tremendous amount of work for that as well, so. And thank God they all know what they're doing, they just do it, they go out there, put barrels out, whatever needs to be done, they do it, without without anybody really having to ask them, but it's a lot, there's a lot that goes on, so.
Oh, it was great. I was in attendance and it was a great, I was there early, I was in the neighborhood and I was there for the fireworks themselves and it looked seamless. Everyone was doing exactly what they were supposed to be doing. Great kudos to the town, everyone involved. It was a beautiful night.
Yeah, it was awesome, so thank you.
Alright, great. So, now, are we adjourning before the,
Yeah, we're
Here you
gonna
go.
adjourn.
okay, first I'm gonna do my signatures, so, might be like a couple minutes, depending on how long it takes to sign all this paperwork, and then we're gonna adjourn the,
You're gonna adjourn your meeting, because this is just a public presentation, and
Alright.
we're gonna give you a presentation, but it's not something that we vote on.
alright, just making sure.
Thank you, sir.
My brother got tore his leg again,
Oh, yeah? Cool, it's cool, isn't it?
amazing. Good. I'm trying this one.
Waiting for my tour.
My brother, he's friends with one of the, someone that works there,
Space, you know,
yeah. Him and his girlfriend went down
it
there.
is very hot, you just feel like you're gonna faint it.
I heard you have to wear like a very clear suit.
Do I need anyone else to join us?
And
But this one.
the bottom is two for them.
I don't know.
This one's yours. The, summary sheet, I don't know if we all need to sign it.
I'll just send it back. You sign them. I'll pay you. You do.
I do?
Yes.
I have to tell today, she says. When the board knows I'm going on vacation the 14th to the 20th.
I believe we denied that, didn't we?
Huh?
I believe we denied that, didn't we?
Great.
Enjoy yourself.
Luann's gonna
You say it,
hold
I
on
was
for
like, that was, yeah,
Good luck, Talia.
that's not good work on my mouth.
My new friends.
Our next meeting is a joint meeting with the Vocational Exploratory Committee. Just so you know, August. No, July.
I'm jumping ahead. This is gonna just be.
That's not rush summer.
I know, it's like, it doesn't feel like it's going so fast already, it's already July.
Crazy.
Signing away.
I need a stamp. Privacy important, definitely. You're all set.
Thank you so much for keeping us all organized.
Alright, so we good?
And adjourn.
Alright, so with that, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.